Well, in this week's Cardiology Countdown, we'll point out that we have crosstalk between a Cardiology Countdown in Cardiosaurus World News and this video program, where we'll highlight different aspects of what's neat new news in cardiology. And this month, there's a highlight and a countdown on cardiac rehab, where a new advisory will be really a call to action to try and educate providers and patients about the benefits of cardiac rehab. It calls for creating innovative strategies of expanding the use of outpatient cardiac rehab, to be aware of the performance measure that exists around referral to, decrease barriers for referral to cardiac rehab, and thus ultimately increase participation overall. Now, this week's number 2 spot is a related article in JACC that looks at the ever-present fitness and fatness issue that we all constantly battle and certainly try and work with our patients. This was a study of over 3,000 patients with a 6-year follow-up where they looked at patients' fitness over time and their fatness, and tracked how that relates to metabolic syndrome and the different risk factors. And not surprisingly, but in this nice study, they found that those who were able to maintain or improve their level of fitness were able to reduce the incidence of metabolic syndrome and the various risk factors, whereas those who gained weight had steady progression and increases in incidence of all the different risk factors. And so this provides yet another study to reinforce the importance of exercise and eating right and trying to maintain a healthy weight. And at the number 1 spot this week is a paper from the REVERSE trial published in the European Heart Journal that looks at lead placement and overall outcomes with cardiac resynchronization therapy. And they looked at placement of the lead at either the lateral versus non-lateral wall and those that got apically or not in the apex, and found better outcomes in terms of left ventricular volume or the incidence of death or heart failure in those where the lead was placed on the lateral wall, in the LV this is, and not in an apical site. No differences were seen in the placement where the RV lead was. And so this helps provide, I think, further evidence of guiding the lead placement to try and optimize outcomes in CRT. So for this week's Cardiology Countdown, I'm Chris Cannon.